Welcome to the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight with me, Wadulo, Arnold, Mark, and Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin, so do sit tight, and now let's give you the news in detail. World leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, have this Saturday attended the funeral of Pope Francis in the Vatican City. The pontiff, who died of a stroke at the age of 88 on Easter Monday, has been buried at St. Mary Major Basilica after a funeral service in St. Peter's Square. More details in this report.
Pope Francis, also known as the People's Pope, has been laid to rest at St. Mary Major Basilica in Rome 6 days after his passing. His coffin was sealed during a private ceremony inside the Vatican Basilica, attended by family members and officials. His remains had rested under the care of the chapter of San Pedro before the funeral began at 10 a.m. today. Following his wishes, the funeral was simpler than those of the previous popes but remained rich in tradition. Cardinals, archbishops and bishops gathered at the Constantine wing, while priests assembled in St. Peter's Square. Prayers were led by Cardinal Giovanni Battisteri, who recalled the pontiff's final public blessing.
Deus immortalis pastor animarum respice popolo tuum supplicantem, et presta ut famulus tuus Papa Franciscus, qui ecclesiae tua in caritate prefuit, fidelis dispensatoris remunerationem, congregie tibi sibi credito misericorditer consequatur, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum, qui te convivit et regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen. World leaders, including Donald Trump, Vladimir Zelensky, and Prince William, joined an estimated 400,000 mourners who lined up the streets of Rome. Pope Francis' coffin was later driven in the Pope Mobile to Santa Maria Maggiore Basilica for burial. The Vatican confirmed his final resting place just outside by the Holy See. Brian Tumwinebya Ruhanga, UBC.
Over 400,000 dignitaries have witnessed the official send-off of Pope Francis, who died on Easter Monday. The man who cherished the values of love, humility, equity, peace and harmony succumbed to pneumonia and stroke. Uganda's delegation was led by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, who attended alongside United States President Donald Trump. More details in this report.
Delegations of heads of state and foreign dignitaries.
St. Mary Major Basilica, found in Rome, Italy, was the place to be this Saturday.
As well as the Serbian and Romanian and Bulgarian patriarchs.
It was the last day of Pope Francis on earth, as thousands of mourners gathered to participate in his final journey. From the east to the west, north to the south, world leaders of repute did not miss the occasion. The President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, who had jetted in the Vatican a day before, was one of the mourners. Trump was joined by other world leaders to send off the Pope, including his former successor and recently predecessor, Joe Biden. Others were British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Prince William represented King Charles III, as the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, also attended. Trump held a one-on-one meeting with Ukraine leader Volodymyr Zelensky on the sidelines of the burial ceremony. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among Annette, represented Uganda at the burial of the pontiff, who valued life with love, peace and harmony. She was flanked by her deputy, Thomas Taiwa, where she also met Kenya's President, William Ruto.
I am privileged to have been here to join the faithful from the whole world to see the whole Pope, the whole Father, Pope Francis, on his last day on earth. He's going to be with the Lord. And I want to thank everybody, and we should be able to embrace what the Pope used to preach. He used to preach about peace, about love, and humanity. And we are here to join the whole world to celebrate his life.
Pope Francis may have transited to the spiritual world, but the values he cherished still live on.
We send our flowers to all those who are in grief of the loss of the Pope, and also His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Mom and the entire First family, because they sent their condolences on behalf of our country, Uganda. So we wave to you with flowers, people of Vatican, for us who have not managed to come, and we pray that may the soul of our Holy Father, Pope Francis, rest.
This implies all that identified with him, towing the direction that the pontiff followed. To Minister Princess Namuganza, leaders need to practice what they preach.
Maybe my message to those people who have, some of whom have interacted with Pope Francis, his message has been holiness, humility, and selflessness to serve others.
The task that remains at the Vatican is now sourcing for the next Pope, a process the world is watching. Henry Okrut, UBC.
College in San
The Prime Minister of Uganda, the Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, has hailed fellow female cabinet members for standing up to the task amidst challenges since their appointment by the President in 2021. Nabanja has been leading belated Women's Day celebrations for Kakumiro District, and Robert Onyango has the details.
Right Honorable Prime Minister Residents of Kakumiro district turned up in large numbers to celebrate this year's belated Women's Day for Kakumiro. Held at Kakindo sub-county grounds in Kakumiro district, the event was graced by Kakumiro district woman member of parliament, also Prime Minister of Uganda Robina Nabanja. As part of the celebrations, a series of activities have been running throughout the entire week.
The rate of HIV in Uganda, as we are preventing it, it is also coming up. Why? Because the mothers have not talked to the younger ones at home. You see, we have had the Cancer Institute here, we have had the Immunization Department for Ministry of Health here, we have had so many departments for Ministry of Health.
The belated Women's Day has not only been graced by Prime Minister Robina Nabanja as the chief guest, but she has also been its main convener.
Kubanga katayize ebimirimu egikola kibwe gitambula n'ekyakumiro mulekere Nabanja yatusookayo gyali ataakola. Nabanja oye!
Honorable Beninya Mukim is a former member of parliament, contributed a cow. Aisha Black, have I talked about Aisha? Yes, she contributed a cow. I have a group of Chinese. They contributed 5,000 kilograms of rice.
According to the Premier, although Women's Day is globally celebrated on 8th March every year, there are many reasons as to why Kakumiro has marked it on 26th April 2025.
Government yatu ekozile ngudo. Tusime wekitinisa president ya ngudo za korasi. Mutero mungara barungi. Government yatu etuwaire ngudo za korasi. Etuwaire ebyome bikulime ngudo. Kandi buli mwaka government ikaile tuwereza bilioni ya sente netujiteka district yao.
Dignitaries including members of cabinet, parliament and civil society organizations graced the celebrations.
I am here, I've served as a woman MP, but I'm also a minister in the government. So for the girls out there, once you are disciplined, once you go to school, once you respect your parents and the community, you can achieve more.
Why do we celebrate this when the entire country has celebrated? We are translating the same message down. Now, as you celebrate this Women's Day, all of us, we are centering on water creation. The women are growing. The women are supported by the men.
In a light moment, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja lauded fellow female cabinet members for a job well done. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thank you very much, Robert Onyango. Uganda's Minister of Education and Sports and First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni has urged women not to neglect their maternal roles even as they engage in financial activities. This message was delivered by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, representing Mama Janet at the belated Women's Day celebrations at the launch of Agliko Women's Circle in Gomba District. These are the details.
The Minister of Education and Sports and First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni has encouraged Gomba residents to continue supporting the NRM party, saying it remains committed to addressing their needs.
I also appeal to everyone gathered here to continue supporting the NRM government and to encourage those who have not yet acknowledged the good work done by the NRM leadership to join us as we continue to move our nation towards development and prosperity for everyone.
She donated 100 million shillings as seed capital for Agliko Women's Circle.
The seed capital mukashi ya milioni 10.
The First Lady was represented by the Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, who praised the unity among MPs, particularly from Buganda, and contributed 50 million shillings to support Gomba women through their circle. The area MP, Robina Rakozo, also donated 10 million shillings to Sylvia Nayebale, Women Member of Parliament Gomba District, to boost her women's initiatives. State Minister of Microfinance Haruna Cheyune Kasolo announced that his team will train women on managing the funds and promised additional support afterwards.
Nyenda kuweereza ekitongole kyange kisooka okubateekateeka n'okubasomesa
The chief organizer, Naebale Sylvia, thanked Gombo residents for their growing support for the NRM party. MP Robina Rakozo explained the importance of the day, encouraging women to use the funds to improve their livelihoods.
I thank Mrs. Museveni, Mama Janet, who was supposed to come as the guest of honor, but she was represented by the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, who I thank too. These groups received money from various people and from the guests. I personally gave 10 million. I pray that the women will use it to help them to get income that will help their homes. I pray that they will wait for the people who Honorable Kasolo is going to give them to teach them how to manage finances.
Women trained by the Uganda Women's Water Initiative expressed excitement about their new skills.
It has taught us how to dig without using things that pollute the environment.
Charity Marion Imnat and Stephen Kayumba for UBC News.
And furthermore, the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Health has today officially declared the country free of the Ebola outbreak. In a major announcement, the government called on tourists and traders to move in and out of Uganda freely without the fear of the Ebola epidemic. While making this declaration in Mbale City, Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, reaffirmed Uganda's commitment to international health regulations, which emphasize the free movement of traders and tourists as essential for economic growth and development.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has this Saturday declared Uganda officially free of Ebola outbreak, urging community members to remain vigilant against future threats.
Having completed 2 full incubation cycles, that is 42 days, since the last confirmed case was discharged on March 14th, 2025, and having recorded no new cases amidst sustained surveillance efforts, I now officially declare the current Sudan Ebola virus disease outbreak in Uganda to be over.
This was during a function held in Mbale City and attended by technocrats, health professionals and area leaders.
The wonderful work they did on tracking and tracing the cases up to the dot. That is how we managed to come up with a 99% of the follow-up rate, and hence we managed to control the epidemic here in Mbale.
Dr. Acheng noted that the country is now safe for both trade and tourism, encouraging the business community and tourists alike to move freely and explore Uganda's many attractions.
We want to reassure our tourists Uganda is safe and Uganda remains the most beautiful country in the world. Please come and visit the Pearl of Africa.
Meanwhile, the Africa Center for Disease Control, along with other partners, pledged continued support to Uganda in strengthening its fight against future epidemics.
Our work is not over. With a 40% increase in public health emergencies in Africa over the past 2 years, threats like mpox, cholera, and climate-sensitive diseases demands a unified, well-resourced and African-led response.
The event was also attended by Ebola survivors who shared their experiences from the time they spent in quarantine.
When I was told that my husband had died of Ebola, I was left in shock because I know that the consequences that go with it. I thought automatically I'm also gone. Anyway, as you're still grieving for your husband, they are also come that you're going to, that there is Ebola. So I was completely lost.
Minister Acheng further assured all health workers and support teams who played a role in combating the epidemic that the Ministry of Health is working to settle their outstanding financial and other commitments.
We still have obligations that have not been settled. So I just want to encourage those whom we have not yet settled obligations to be patient. The government and partners will do the needful.
The Sudan strain of Ebola marked Uganda's 8th epidemic outbreak. The Ministry of Health continues to urge all Ugandans to remain vigilant and strictly follow medical guidelines to prevent future outbreaks.
The Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation has called or challenged universities across Uganda to rise to the occasion and tackle real-world problems through research and innovation. Speaking at a research and innovation conference at Lira University, Dr. Monica Musenero said research is the key to economic growth and national transformation.
As the three-day Science and Innovation Conference concluded at Lira University, the chief guest, Minister Dr. Monica Musenero, delivered a strong call to action. Universities must not only generate knowledge, but actively provide solutions to the country's pressing challenges.
We were partially doing community service, but not doing the community transformation. Because community transformation comes from innovation and industry, supporting economic development of the country. But I think we are beginning to know where to go. From the innovations I've seen, at least now we are reaching the green carpet.
She urged institutions to become self-sustaining by generating revenue through innovation.
Because the research they do generates royalties, or some of their products end up as industries, they pay the universities money. So a university which is connected to industries is not dependent on their knowledge.
The event highlighted dozens of innovative projects developed under the government's Research and Innovation Fund with the participation from both lecturers and students. Among the standout innovations was a mobile application designed to monitor thermal stress, a major contributor to the declining consumption rates in livestock. The app provides real-time air temperature forecast and recommends interventions. Nutrofeed, a nutrient-rich recipe, also captured Minister Musenero's attention. She praised it as a practical example of impactful research, noting it will be onboarded onto the Made in Uganda platform for marketing.
And I would love to see that kind of food developed into baby food. The elite buy formula from where? SMA made in the US, made in South Africa. When you have a superior potential baby food right here in Lira.
While celebrating our achievement, we also recognize persistence challenge like limited infrastructure, low research capacity, and the transition gap between prototypes and market-ready products.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Jasper Gwalokeng hailed the conference as a milestone for Lira University. He emphasized that meaningful development stems from deliberate research and called for the conference to become an annual event.
Most universities got maybe $1 billion or something like that, but we have got 500 million. That gentleman did a good job by creating Oliver Twist, and that's what we are in.
With the 500 million shillings in funding for the 2023-2024 financial year, Lira University supported 30 research teams. Despite the success, challenges remain, including limited infrastructure and difficulty of turning prototypes into market-ready products. Ediolwa, UBC News.
The Chancellor of Makerere University, Dr. Crispus Kionga, has urged those engaged in tailoring to advance in cloth making in order to reduce dependency on second-hand clothing imported into the country. He noted that Uganda has the capacity to produce ready-made clothing using raw materials that are readily available locally.
Makerere University Chancellor Dr. Crispus Kionga has called for advancement in cloth making in order to reduce dependence on second-hand clothes imported into the country. Dr. Crispus Kionga was presiding over the graduation ceremony of over 1,000 youths who completed courses in tailoring, hairdressing and phone repair under the Big Heart Foundation based in Kasese Municipality. Kionga emphasized that Uganda needs to focus on advancing local production of goods instead of relying on second-hand imports.
People now have learned some basic skills of how to make a dress, how to make a shirt, and maybe other dresses. That is fine. But we need now to build on these people so that their skills are as close as possible to making dresses like those which are imported, shirts or dresses. This is feasible. If we achieve that, we then reduce the amount of clothes that we import from other countries abroad.
He added that non-governmental organizations involved in skilling initiatives are complementing the president's vision of economic empowerment through hands-on skills training for the young generation.
Because the strategy of the president is that we have many young people with basic education, but the jobs available so far are not enough to go around. And jobs depend on the demand. What are the demands that people have in the population? One sector where there is very high demand is clothing. But most people are dressing clothes which are imported, mainly second-hand clothes.
The director of Big Heart Foundation, who is also the member of parliament for Kasese municipality, Kambale Ferigo, explained that the hands-on skilling is a permanent investment that enables individuals to earn a sustainable living.
For the last 10 years, I've been giving skills to our youth, purposely as a strategy for socio-economic transformation. When you give a skill, somebody will use it to earn a shilling, to earn a living for the rest of his or her life. So it's a permanent investment where if you get a skill, you have a permanent asset for you to utilize to earn a living.
Muthabal Moses compiled this report for UBC News.
Residents in several villages across Kayonza sub-county in Kayunga district are crying out for help after facing violent evictions from land they've occupied for decades. They accuse one Penina Awoli with the alleged backing of some local leaders and police to forcefully drive them off their bibanjas. These are the details.
In the villages of Butalabuna, Kabalangajja, Ebuyola, Balisanga and Mujumbi, families say they are living in fear. Residents claim Penina Woli began evictions earlier this year. They emphasize that they have lived on the land since 1993 but accuse Penina of destroying their plantations and physically assaulting them.
Kubanga ina bakanyama era ndoza bawulira nti minister oli kujja mukuvanyuma okubanga oli kujja ndoza bavudewo lwajjo era leero tufunye mmotoka ezze wano weti mpola mpola emundu ezimu bazitutte
sendere emmere emichungwa muwogo amapaapaali nenge ebintu ebibadde byatukanga mwezi gya ssente okulabira abaana benge nga balabika nga basoma.
They emphasize that they have lived on the land since 1993 but accuse Penina of destroying their plantations and physically assaulting them. The residents further accuse Kayunga police of siding with the victors, claiming that instead of offering protection, officers have turned into land brokers, facilitating the illegal evictions.
Police ekola ku nsonga z'ettaka Kayunga ekoze ky'amaanyi nnyo okutulugunya ab'ebibanja okutusiba mu makomera era poliisi yava ku mulimu gwayo kati yafuuka ddiira mu by'ettaka.
The tensions escalated during a community meeting convened by the Kayunga RDC Mariam Nalwega and attended by the State Minister for Lands, Honorable Dr. Sam Mayanja, along with LC3 Chairperson John Mulamuzi and other local leaders.
Which are these people who are building?
Actually, when they submitted, I asked her, I asked her, she said she hired security guards.
But you see, we are going to arrest her.
Yes.
She's there illegally. I've just ordered she must stop the construction proceeding.
At the meeting, Minister Mayanja stressed the rights of Bibanja holders and landowners, issuing 5 strong directives to address the situation.
The directives which the president gave, number 1, the ownership of a kibanja is a constitutional guarantee. So nobody can tell a kibanja holder, we agree, because you cannot buy what's your own. Number 2, you cannot reduce, a titled holder cannot reduce a kibanja holder for any size that he is going to offer the kibanja holder a tiny portion as titled land.
Minister Mayanja ordered the RDC to immediately return all affected residents to their vibanjas and directed the DPC to issue a warrant of arrest against Penina Woli, citing charges of criminal trespass, forceful entry and causing bodily harm.
That in accordance to the presidential directives, the RDC will in an orderly manner put these people back in their vibanjas.
He also instructed the DPC to file a report with the IGP and recommend the replacement of all officers found complicit in acts of torture and illegal land dealings in Kayunga.
Now, lady, is it Penina, whatever, Awoli, that one must be arrested on those charges. There's even a dispute whether the title she's holding is really a true title or fraudulent.
Charity Marion Imnat and Jamil Sekaja for UBC News.
Wakiso District Kadi Sheikh Elias Chigozi has thanked President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for recognizing him among the 72 district Kadis for their dedicated service to Muslims in Wakiso District and Uganda at large. This was during an event where Sheikh Elias Chigozi and Hajat Shania Chigozi were honored by the Kampala Matali Group, who entertained the audience in celebration of their achievements. More details in the report.
During the event, Sheikh Elias Chigozi and Hajat Shania Chigozi were honored by Kampala Matali Group, who entertained the audience in celebration of their achievements. The event was filled with joy and gratitude as awards were officially presented to Sheikh Elias Chigozi, Hajat Shania Chigozi, Sheikhat Namakula, and the Kampala Matali Group. The crowd cheered as Sheikh Elias Chigozi received his award, accompanied by traditional Matali music performances. The chief guests, Second Deputy Mufti Sheikh Huran Muhammad Bukenya, congratulated the prophets of Sheikh Elias Chigozi and Hajat Shania Chigozi. He urged all parents to continuously pray for their children, emphasizing that success is rooted in spiritual support and strong family foundations.
It's not because of our appearance or our size, it's because of the service we've managed to give and you've appreciated it.
Speaking to the gathering, Sheikh Elias Chigozi shared his journey of growth, attributing his success to hard work, prayer, and the freedom of worship granted by government. He expressed deep gratitude to the president for upholding religious freedom.
I thank the president of Uganda to give the peace of worship to everyone and even to give the respect to the Muslim community in Uganda. In this process of mindset, we had a lot of Muslim land which has been donated to different people. But alhamdulillah, through our hard working, we've managed to rescue these Muslim lands, and we put different projects like schools, hospitals, and even the technical schools.
Sheikh Elias Chigozi and Hajat Shania Chigozi also thanked the Ugandans for appreciating their work. They pledged to work even harder to uplift Ugandans in need.
I would like to thank all Ugandans, our Muslims, non-Muslims, and those who nominated us. We thank you so much. Let's help, let's do the work for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you do something good, God will force the people to recognize you, to appreciate you.
Jamil Sekaja for UBC News.
The World Bank has commended 33 local governments for outstanding performance in the recently concluded Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development Program, USMID. Stephen Ajalu, the World Bank's task team leader, cited 9 regional cities, municipalities and districts that achieved excellent results.
Over the last 5 years, the $360 million USMID program, funded by the World Bank, has provided financing to local governments based on performance metrics ranging from planning and procurement to transparency and service delivery.
Under the program for research, funding is not given directly to the project. It's given to what we call the disbursement linked indicators. When you meet those, you get the money, then you can now use that money to be able to do what has been agreed in the menu.
The Minister of State in charge of urban development, Obiga Kania, encouraged towns and municipalities to increase their physical planning to create better areas for residents to live and work.
We are here to make our contribution in resolving the challenges which come with that urbanization process. That's why we are here. Your mustard seed in fighting the challenges associated with the urbanization is the little action you will take. Don't underrate it.
9 of the 33 local governments were honored for their outstanding performance during the implementation of the USMID program. Mubende municipality emerged top.
I thank Ministry of Lands for this effort in enabling us become the winner of this concluding phase. We are indeed very grateful. Ministers who are here, I want to assure you, Minister of Lands and Urban Development have done us a great job. They are visiting us, they are mentoring us from time to time. I'd like to thank my entire team of the technical and the political for the cooperation we have exhibited since we were enrolled on this program.
Wherever we have put roads, there is a very big socio-economic transformation that has been seen on the ground. Like the Rweb Corner issue, where we beautified and worked on the area which was always muddy, which would flood all the time. People work during the day and the night.
Their performance was evaluated in all aspects, from planning and procurement to transparency and service delivery. Mary Namkose, Vincent Wamondo, UBC News.
Makerere University has launched a comprehensive HIV/AIDS sensitization campaign aimed at empowering students with knowledge to make informed health decisions and reduce the spread of HIV among the youth. More details in this report.
The sensitization program launched this week features interactive sessions focusing on HIV and AIDS prevention and other health concerns affecting youth.
We have a focus of health promotion and education. And in this particular case, we want to focus on HIV and other STIs and also other factors related to health. Because the health team is here, we'll be able to answer all the questions concerning health that are coming from the students. So we have basically brought the services closer to the people. It is a way of being proactive, that most hospitals are fixed where they are, but the staff can move and get to the clients. It is also behind the big point that prevention is better than cure.
University health officials reaffirm their readiness to support HIV-positive students, with the university hospital fully equipped to offer counseling, treatment and continuous care.
Thank management of Makerere University because they are the ones who have supported this program. This program is internally supported from the university, which is another big advantage we have, and also which shows you how seriously the leadership of the university takes in regard to students' welfare. We shall even talk about the ABC strategy in terms of abstinence, behavior, condom use for those who can't control themselves, And we also want to talk about the female condom as well.
Student leaders welcomed the initiative, noting its timeliness in reducing HIV prevalence among university students, promoting a healthier campus community.
The university, by the virtue that they even give us permission to hold these events in the university, is proof enough to show that they are really according us the necessary support to sensitize the students and equally at institutional level as well.
Here, we are here at Afro-Stone Solidarity. Yes, this is Africa Hall, as you can all see. This is our first session, like our launch session that we've had here for the first time. Yes, it is about HIV prevention. As we all know that HIV prevention is better than cure. Yes, the cure may not be possible as per now in Uganda, but at least we can prevent so that we can have healthy Ugandans.
Sada Mubale, UBC News.
And in a new development, Watu Uganda has launched Watu Shule, a motorcycle riding school in Fort Portal City to boost road safety and empower skilled riders across the country, especially in the border community. Within border riders, with border riders accounting for about 45% of road accidents. The school offers accessible, high-quality training, and this is aimed to address the urgent need. Let's take a look.
Essentially, Watu is an asset financing company, true, but the virtue or the nature of our product is not only the motorcycle, but the empowerment of our rider in any form that they come in. And Watu Shule basically is an add-on service to the holistic package that we provide. You can imagine a scenario where you have a motorcycle, but somebody is not equipped to ride it or even instructed to have it legally on the road. Watu Shule is just, or was that missing piece, whereby when we give out an asset, if we could add the legality to it across the board with our partners like the police and the Ministry of Works, it gives our riders and our customers in general a holistic package. Within our core values is the empowerment of our clients.
When you're using the road, you're automatically involving other people. You're not using the road alone, and you must know and understand what exactly you're supposed to do. When you're using the road, you should be able to understand the road signage, you should be able to understand the traffic regulations and rules, and that's the only way and the best way for you to be able to drive safely, because altogether we are fighting road accidents and road carnage.
Yes, I think Western Uganda is a very good example. We are partnering with the Toro Kingdom as well to help us simplify again the awareness around driving permits. We are also about to collaborate with an association that has decided to gather more statistics, detailed statistics about road crashes, so that we can know where is the problem most acute in Uganda, what kind of problems there is, what kind of crashes and why are they happening, so that we can always update our curriculum and make sure we equip our riders with the tools to avoid these crashes.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi akabibiona. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you can buy the smartphone.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the Government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP. ECOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Mara ngenze mbonipa Sam nazanya roto nganyiga star 278 then hash kujja kubanga oyingire mu kazannyo nga sente zino zimula wano zina wangu zino wano milioni 10 ebindi wana soka bila ku TV nange sasoka kikiriza ninga mulaye kino kinzo kubanga kituufu oba yaddala tibya bufere sente zino nazifunye zino nazikoze eki naziwangudde amasanyu nyina mangi ebyoto byange byembadde njagala ngenda bitukiriza.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulator.
Special announcement from the Baseline Education Census 2025. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Sports, is conducting the Baseline Education Census 2025. This exercise will cover all learning institutions in the country for both government and private establishments, namely pre-primary, primary, secondary, vocational, and higher institutions of learning. The Baseline Education Census exercise data collection is being conducted in a phased manner, starting with Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area, comprising of districts of Kampala, Mukono, and Wakiso. The rollout to all other regions will commence at the beginning of second term. The Baseline Education Census collects information on learners, teachers, and school facilities to facilitate planning and policy decisions in the education sector. Uganda Bureau of Statistics appeals to the general public, heads of schools and institutions, as well as the local government authorities to cooperate with the BEC enumerators. In a special way, UBOS appeals to all parents of the learners to support the exercise by availing learners with their correct date of birth, national identification number, and learner's identification number. For more information, please call 0772 933 628 or 0743 787 189 from Dr. Chris Mukiza, Executive Director.
Welcome back to still watching the UBC News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Leaders in Masaka City have appealed to the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited to address the electricity crisis, particularly neglected poles without power cables. While launching the Masaka area office, UEDCL Managing Director Paul Mwesigwa reaffirmed the company's commitment to prioritizing service over profit.
The Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited has embarked on a regional electricity infrastructure assessment following its takeover of national power distribution from Omeme.
And the logistics have been dispatched. We believe that by next week, I think the free connections for a no-polo service will commence. Whoever applied, and those people who have not yet applied, please apply for a connection.
During the Masaka City launch and assessment, leaders raised concerns about electricity and reliability.
Commissioning a Masaka Light City, Light Center for Masaka.
Just a change in uniform and colors. We want to see a fundamental change in providing services.
City Mayor Florence Namayanja pointed out neglected electricity poles and pending connections.
Now that you are a government entity, to subsidize the cost of electricity to ensure green energy use in all cities.
The power distribution company pledged better service and called for collaboration with leaders to curb vandalism.
Hot play to anybody trying to do vandalism. If you are caught on the line, you'll be arrested and put in jail because it is taken like economic sabotage. All the areas that have been vandalized, municipalities is going to go off, the hospital is going to be affected, the community is going to be affected.
The transition from Umeme to EDCL posed minor electricity reliability challenges, and the company is now focusing on infrastructure assessments and compiling pending connections for timely response. Abdunasiri Lubwama for UBC.
Telecommunication companies have expressed concern over the poor infrastructure in traditional schools, particularly in the Busoga sub-region. Now, to address some of these challenges, America Tower Company, in partnership with MTN Uganda, Airtel Uganda and Stanbic Bank, donated ICT equipment to Wanyange Girls Senior Secondary School in Jinja. Many traditional schools struggle with dilapidated facilities, hindering service delivery and learning outcomes. Now, Wanyange Girls SS is among those affected. Let's take a look.
We are requesting for your help, the ATC people, the MTN and the Airtel, the Leica, to please come and help us so that we can have a better laboratory.
The wear and tear has eroded it to the extent that it's not helpful in supporting our learners to achieve their full potential in the sciences. It's therefore my humble request that ATC Uganda constructs for us a science laboratory to support our learners.
So our role is to support the whole nation when it comes to communication. Without us, communication will be difficult, and that's why we are very passionate about today, because we are looking for more talent that can support our industry. Our industry is majorly STEM, which is science, technology, and because of that, we are always identifying talent. Being a human resource partner, I'm always searching for talent that can build this nation.
The coming of this team on the ground is so useful in that they have brought so many younger ladies who are professional scientists in various fields to encourage, mentor, and empower these younger ladies here. This is going to be a great turning point in our school because it has shown these students here that it is possible to be like them. And their aspirations are now high. The talks have centered on being curious, being courageous, knowing who you are, and being innovative.
MTN Uganda's corporate social responsibility arm, MTN Foundation, has handed over a state-of-the-art computer lab to the Code Campus Foundation in Mbuya, Nakawa Division. This is part of its ongoing commitment to bridging the digital divide through the MTN Digital Access Program, which embraces gender equality.
The handover, which also celebrated the graduation of learners from the MTN Skills Academy, coincided with a global commemoration of International Girls in ICT Day. Valued at Uganda shillings 65 million, the donation includes 10 brand new computers, an inverter power bank system, and a full year of unlimited internet connectivity. These resources will enable hundreds of young people, particularly girls, to gain access to coding, digital literacy, and personal development opportunities.
Our students have graduated, and the certificates they've got are accredited, internationally recognized. So Code Campus, we started off small, but we realized that we are growing big. Many parents out there are understanding the need of actually letting their students come here to study. Where we are currently, we started with 171, now we have about 250 girls that are currently in our program, and those include the holiday makers. So we are very busy during holiday, and during school time we have the multimedia class that is ongoing. And in 3 months they'll be able to graduate, and we expect to hold an even bigger event than today.
The Code Campus Foundation, that also deals in mental health, is one of 6 centers across Uganda benefiting from MTN's Uganda shillings 390 million digital access project. Other beneficiaries include Tunaweza Foundation in Nyanama, Revival Girls High School in Barara, St. Catherine Girls in Kazo, and St. Joseph Seminary in Nyenga.
How do we select these? So we receive very many applications. Almost on a monthly we receive about 50 applications across Uganda. And we have a board that is separate from MTN Uganda. It has an MTN Foundation independent board. So when we get these requests, we review them, we do feasibility study.
MTN Uganda has since 2015 facilitated the establishment of 63 ICT labs nationwide, including 9 in technical institutes in the process, reinforcing its long-standing commitment to inclusive and accessible education for all.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo the Super mustairo mpia. Then you can buy the smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
We used to run, but most of the time we were running away from something. But nowadays, everything seems different. People still run, but they are running towards something. They run to test their limits, to break new records. And when we do it right, we inspire others.
The inaugural Coffee Marathon, uplifting rural coffee women, 24th May at Africa Coffee Park, Ntungamo.
Come, let us run.
To register, dial *217 *413 #. Choose option 4. Or scan the event QR code or visit the website to choose the race options. Brought to you by Inspire Africa Group.
Welcome back, and it's now time for the sports news. The Betpower Futsal Super League is reaching a thrilling climax with just 2 games remaining. Holders Park FC and league leaders Mengo City are locked in a fierce battle for supremacy. Marshal Miro Victor with a report.
On Friday evening at the Old Kampala Futsal Arena, both title contenders secured crucial victories to help the championship fight alive and intense. League leaders Mengo City delivered a commanding performance, thrashing Nansana Aska by 8-0. Ian Tugume was in sensational form, scoring 4 goals, while Samuel Omara added a brace.
And we are left with two game weeks, 2 game days to lift the trophy. That's if we win both the games. And the boys, I can assure you that the boys are highly motivated, and the squad is well balanced, and the boys are ready. You can see the enthusiasm to win the trophy.
Title rivals Park FC responded strongly, securing a solid 4-1 win over Crown Lubiri, with Derek Walugembe netting a hat-trick to keep Park FC just 1 point behind the leaders. In other results, Chisenyi FC, who face Rangers next week, extended their winning streak to 5 matches with a 3-2 victory over Lubaga Gramen. Ediga's youth program edged Kabusu Clouds 4-3. Kaboa Dream Team narrowly defeated Chisugu FC 5-4, while QC Mbarara claimed a 3-0 win over Busunju Sparks. Marshal Miro Victor, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC News tonight. But before we leave, perhaps I'll leave you with something to tickle your mind. Could it be that the greatest opportunity for any African today is the level of mediocrity that we have? And if you can only manage to ascend over and above that mediocrity, you could then stand out. That goes out to you who is aspiring to do something. Thank you for being a part of the UBC News tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. See you tomorrow.